Phil, great to see you. You've just passed the 200 game mark for the club. What does that mean to you?
Means a great deal, to be fair. You think, I said it before, but people who've reached over 200 games are considered legends in the club, and never thought I'd be here to, or even get close to 200 games. But to actually do that is a great accolade, and I'm very proud of it.
Why have you wanted to stay at this club that's had many forms and different names over the years? Why have you seen this as a special club for you?
I've always enjoyed it. I've loved the city. The city is a great place to be, and I've been here since since I was younger. And whether it was coming here so young and being moulded into that way, and Leeds being the team that I wanted to play for, Leeds being everything about it, I'm not sure if it was that, but I've never really wanted to go anywhere else. I've had offers over the years to go other places, but I've always wanted to stay, and I've enjoyed it here. I like playing at Headingley. I like everywhere around, and it's a nice place to be.
Everyone that's kind of been at the club before or still here and kind of goes or comes back, they always seem to hold the club in quite high regard, whatever division they play with the club in, because of the way that the squad is. What is it about that, whatever the squad is, it seems to have a certain feel about it that makes Leeds, Yorkshire stick in people's memories?
Yeah, the lads try and look after each other. I think it's just the Yorkshire way. Everyone, you come up north and come to Yorkshire and you speak to people, and it's like everyone, you walk down the street and people say hello, do you know what I mean? You get off the bus or whatever, and a lot of people have said that. We've had people from all over the world, like people who used to work in football. Steve Nance was one who used to work in football, the conditioner, who's an Aussie, and he always said from coming down from London up north, so you walk down the street and people like walk past you and say hello. It's that sort of environment, and we just try and create it, and we try and create the buzz. We've always tried to create a good buzz in the changing rooms around the lads, and try and keep that as a big pull for people to stay.
So for you then, for all the times you've had here, what stands out as your best memories? So let's start on the pitch.
There's been a lot, to be fair. I mean, coming through the academy, when we were in the 19s, we won the National Cup, and we won the Yorkshire Cup, the Senior Cup, and then that was the first real sort of victory we had as a young group. And a lot of them players did leave. But that was my first experience in a club of a bit of success. And then at the time, the first team, I was only 19, 20, and I think the first time won the Power Gen, went on a big run to stay up in the Premiership, and it was exciting times when Heineken Cup and that, and all that sort of atmosphere at the beginning was, it was a great time to be here. The first, and I was on a young lads saying, the first team welcomed you in open arms. You come to training, it looks after you. Obviously beat you up every now and then when you needed to be, but it looks after you away from the place. I remember the lads giving me lifts to uni and stuff like that. So them times stick out to you, and then over the years, obviously we've been up and down, promotion, relegation. Within that, there's great big, there is parts that are stand out for good reasons and for bad reasons. Things like the Northampton game, we always say that's a big one. I remember playing that game, and we lost. We only needed 1 point from the game to stay up, and we didn't make it, but we played some great rugby. Went there, we had 21 points in 20 minutes away at Northampton. Obviously home here, we beat Worcester. Obviously it was great for us, but again, you look at the flip side of it, the Worcester lads obviously had issues behind the scene, and it wasn't such a great scenario for them. There's lots and lots of different things. I mean, more recently as well, I've had me boys last year, walked out with me 2 eldest. I'm going to do it again, hopefully at the end of this year, take all 3 of them now. Walk out on the field. Walking out with your kids on the field is a great feeling, and that is probably one of my proudest. I've got the picture up from last year in my hallway as soon as you walk in there, so hopefully this year I'll get out and get another one with all 3 of us.
So you played at Heineken Cup and in the Premiership with this club, but in more recent years it's been consistent Championship rugby. I just wonder, what's it like as life of a player, I hope this means respectfully, at kind of your level, because you're a big, fully professional club, I presume fairly well paid, but you have more than a lot of the other clubs in the Championship, but it's nowhere near as much compared to the Premiership clubs and big Premiership players. So what is life like for you?
For me, I'm fortunate. It's been a good life. Obviously, I've been here for 15 years or whatever, and I've made a career out of it. I've not had to have any other jobs, and I've been lucky because at a club like this, it is a good wage in relative terms, but when you look at it compared to the Prem terms, it's nowhere near that. And you do get odd players that come in that do receive that sort of thing, and that happens. That's just sport, and you have to attract big players and good players. You have to obviously pay more. But for me personally, it's been good. I've been able to live a nice lifestyle. I've been to university, houses, cars, all that sort of thing. So it's been good, and just being able to, also the other side of it, being able to spend time with your family as well, because obviously it's a bit of a different timetable. So obviously you don't get weekends, but you get days off during the week and stuff for your kids, and when they're not at school and stuff, it's great because you get that extra time with them. Half days and stuff, being able to go drop your kids off at school or go there and pick them up is a nice thing. So as a lifestyle, it creates a really, really nice lifestyle, which is something obviously coming towards the end of career. In a few years, I'm actually having to piece together what I'm trying to do to fit in over that, or to try and pick up a similar lifestyle.
What are your ideas for when you finish? You've got a few years left, haven't you? Then?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I mean, I'm 32 next weekend. So yeah, I've got a few years left, hopefully, providing injury, doesn't get me. But I'm probably looking at being a paramedic. Is the honest truth. I've always been interested in that sort of stuff. So it means going back to university again and getting qualified and cracking on with that.
Oh, best of luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Not quite sure what you're attending to me. No offence, Phil, if we ever have any injuries. But yeah, see your smiling face, I thought, yeah, I'm going to be safe. Maybe not. What about the characters you've played with and kind of off the field at the club over the years? You must have come across quite a few in this.
Yeah, there's lots.
Carnegie shirt.
There's lots. I mean, we've had when I was younger, we had a lot of big names. Ian Bolshaw, Justin Marshall, Gordon Ross, and a lot of big names. And then when we've not been in the height of our game, we've brought in other people, but they've held similar qualities. Do you know what I mean? Lads who want to do the best, lads who want to be the best they can be. But there has been a few. I mean, Backy was a good. He was a coach, but he was good. And I remember when he first arrived, we went to Whitby for a day out for training camp. We had some food together as a team and stuff. And on the way back, we were on the bus together. There was obviously 40 lads on the bus, rugby lads, and there was some idiot who decided to stop us in the middle of the A64 and pull the bus over and got out of his little white van with a little spite of road rage and jumped out in the middle of the A64, which was a bit surreal, really. So I remember Backy jumping off the bus, and obviously coming from the Leicester background, never backed down, and he went out to me and was like, "What are you doing?" And fronted him, not fronting him up in a bad way, but fronting him up to say, "What are you doing?" And obviously all us lot had power to the front of the bus, and you're talking guys like Eric Lund, Alfie Tuala, big men. And this guy was sort of like, you see he's frozen, you see him look at the bus and his eyes just, you can see the whites in his eyes like, this isn't fair, there's all you lot on the bus. And it was a funny moment, but that sort of set back his sort of a tone of, we don't take no rubbish off anyone, and we're going to go places, and we're going to, try and front up to people, which is what we did that year. We went away to places, we won enough games, we played a style which rugby which suited us. We obviously narrowed the pitch here, and that's what helped us stay up in the Premiership. Obviously the year after, we were nearly there again, but we just couldn't quite capitalise on it, which was unfortunate. And it's great in the rugby environment. You do get a lot of good characters, a lot of big characters. Scully now, he's played all over Toulon with all these internationals, all these stories, and the changing room is a good place to be for the stories and experiences of other people. It is a fun place to be.
So best hookers you've come up against or been at the club?
I've been fortunate in a way and unfortunate. We've obviously had quite a few internationals here. Steve Thompson, Andy Titcherell, Villiers, Tongan international. Experience, obviously Rawley played over 200 games for the club as well. Personally, I've had some really good hookers here to learn off, and I've learnt different things from each of them. And I've been fortunate they've been wanting to teach me as well. Hookers I've played against, a lot of the current England internationals, Rob Webber, Dylan Hartley, and them sort of people you play against, and you can see the different sort of pedigree of international players to your average, even a good Premiership player to Championship player. You can see that different pedigree when you play against them, and you're playing against guys like that. And it's tough, but it's also exciting and a good feeling to play against guys like that.
So what are your hopes and dreams for the rest of your career, which will hopefully be here at Yorkshire Carnegie? What do you want to achieve in those next few years?
We want to be back in the one thing I want to do before I ever give up playing rugby is play in the Premiership again. And hopefully we'll do that this year. And if not, we'll always keep striving to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I've always wanted to stay as well. The club's always wanted to be back in the Prem, always wanted to do that, and they've always tried to put the building blocks in place, bring the team in together, get the coach stuff in. They've always tried to do that, and that's one thing which I've always believed the club wanted to do. And obviously another name change with the Yorkshire Carnegie now, and the new owners are coming in, and they want Premiership rugby as well. And I think that's a big pull for a lot of players as well, to stay here and to want to come here. Obviously people want to be in the Premier. That's what we want to do. We've got great facilities here, as you can see, and that's what it's all about. Play at the best level you can do, and that's all I want to do really.